Now, for people who want to know what Uncensored is a unofficial talk show, but I'm trying to turn it into an official talk show. And the whole purpose I'm making a statement I'm saying, it doesn't matter if you're deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. You should prove to people you can still amount to something, and you should enjoy life, and let's prove people wrong. Now, like I said, it's a half-hour, 45-minute conversation. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to, and let's have fun with it.
Okay, that's good.
So, starting off, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, I am an actress, a dancer, model, plus I am a mother. So I have multiple responsibilities and multiple job titles, but I just balance them out very easily, so it works out. Most of the time, I have a lot of help with my son, so I can go and, travel to New York and whatnot to, go to auditions and projects and films. Like tonight, I'll be filming at 9:30 at nighttime. So, it's just one of those fun things. You always are on the go and always are having fun. So it's one thing I love to do.
All right. What about... Well, you can say anything you want, so...
Okay.
So what about when you got into dancing? Were you like a pro dancer, or did you just do dancing for fun?
Well, dancing is more of my hobby. It's not more of my talent. I am talented in dance because I can learn steps really, really well. But I started when I was 18, which is really hard for a dancer because dancers are supposed to start, 18 is when they're supposed to be done dancing, and I started when I was 18. So I don't have the flexibility of most dancers, but I do have the determination to keep on learning. So I do have the skill set to memorize choreography and do it. So I've done a couple of films where I had to dance. So it's just the object of keeping your mind open to different dance forms and enjoying yourself. So it's more of it's actually more like therapeutic in a sense, because you open up your mind and you express yourself through your body, and that's all about dance. So more of it's like a hobby than it be like professional Broadway style. I don't think I would ever take it to Broadway, but then things happen unexpectedly, so it could happen that way.
All right. How did he get into dancing?
I got into dancing. Believe it or not, I was never into dance when I was younger. It was more of I always wanted to dance, but never thought, I could ever do that. And I started dance in high school. And once I found out that I was really good at learning the choreography and everything, I full force went straight into dance. So I've been dancing ever since, and I do jazz, hip hop, belly dancing, and salsa. So it has different dance forms that I like, and I try everything. I try ribbon dancing and ballroom, but it's I have my 4 specific ones that I'm really good at. So I've been trying to perfect them.
All right. Well, when you were in high school, did you do any sports? Were you athletic?
I do. Well, I started in sports. That's why I guess I didn't do much dance. I was a soccer player, basketball player, field hockey player, and I did a little bit of football. So I was always, believe it or not, always on the only girl on the team. They always had the co-ed ones. And for some reason, all the other girls never wanted to play. So I was always the girl. So it was funny because I acted like the guy though, because I'm very tough when I I'm very aggressive. That's the word I use. I'm very aggressive when I play, and I'm very competitive. That's why sports were always down my alley, because you got to be aggressive, competitive, and good at what you do. So it was fun.
What about in college? Were you a study nerd, party animal?
Oh, well, college. Well, first of all, college, my very first year of college, I had a 4.0. And that's because I literally just studied and, I did all the good college things. Then when I found out that I wanted to do film and theater and TV, that's when I broadened into different, extracurricular activities. And so I then pushed away a little bit of my learning and actually did the hands-on work at the different groups. And so I was never the party kind of girl. I wasn't going to go out and get drunk every night, but I was the one who got into everything under the sun. I was a DJ on the radio station, I was a host on one of their TV talk shows, so it's I went into every little possible thing I could do to get more experience and hands-on training. And, studying went a little bit by the wayside, but it was mostly the classes I really didn't care about. So I pushed through and, of course, graduated, so it worked.
All right. Well, what did you major in?
I majored in RTF Communications, which is radio, television, film, and I minored in journalism and theater. So I have two minors and one major. So, and basically that opened doors for me. Like, I auditioned with Wire 96.5, which is a Philadelphia station. I also I did an internship with Fox 29 News, which is also in Philadelphia. And I also worked with Michael and Casting, which is a casting agency. So I put my foot in different doors to try my hands at everything to see what I really wanted to do. And they also gave me different options to look at my career in a different way than just acting. So I got to see the different branches off of it. So it was really cool.
All right. Well, after the show, I do have a question for you.
Okay, no problem.
You've already got to that. A lot of people do this for fun. A lot of people think it's just a cheerleader thing. Did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or you're not a human pyramid girl?
I've never done the human pyramid. That, again, I would probably put with cheerleading mostly. As dancers call it, cheerleading is just, I don't know, we put it different ways, I guess. I mean, I call it stage dancing, because it's like, okay, they're very, I would put cheerleading more in gymnastics form than I would in dance form. They do have a lot of feats that say dance too, but most of it's flexibility and showing how they can throw each other up in the air, and, so it's like, it's more of gymnastics than I would call dancing, but there is people who do both, like they're cheerleaders and they're dancers, and that's different, altogether. So I've never done the pyramid, but I would probably be the one on the bottom, if ever, because I'm very strong, so I would be the one holding people up. So I would never be on the top, but I would always probably be on the bottom, being the support me.
Would you be up for one, or are you not into that stuff?
Oh, I could totally try it. I try everything once. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But I always try everything once. That's my motto to learn from.
I always wanted to do one. I know I'm a loser, but I always wanted to do one.
It's fun. It's an accomplishment all in itself, so it works.
My buddy, if you want to help me out, I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
Now, going on to I ask you a lot of easy questions, and like I said, you can say anything you want, curse if you want to. You can ask me anything you want. Do you have any questions for me so far? I don't want our listeners to think it's one-sided.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I was trying to figure out, because you're doing the radio for, to inspire others, and what branch, off are you trying to, get it seen? Are you thinking of, creating films afterward, or is it just going to be a radio station? What was your anticipation for this radio?
Well, when I started my own talk show back in 2004, and that's when I was in high school, same thing like you were doing. You had your own radio station and morning show. I just had a passion for it, but unfortunately I couldn't have any guests on my talk show because it was a high school thing, and if you had famous people coming in, and it's a whole big thing, school wanted to be a part of it, so they had limits. You couldn't allow outsiders to come in. So that's one reason I didn't take the talk show at the time seriously. Yeah, I did it, but I had basically my hands tied. I couldn't do a lot with it. At the time, I have a strong passion for making videos. And I do a lot of fan-made videos, like I was telling you before, the fan-made Dumbo and Jumbo Buck, a lot of voiceovers. I do that just for fun. And to answer your question, if the talk show never works out, I hope it does. But, to have the video stuff to fall back on. I love making videos and doing the voiceovers, so hopefully I can get into the media type. Basically, the talk show is just to show people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, turning myself into a perfect example for people out there deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. You should prove people wrong and just make a statement. And a lot of people say this is a great format I'm doing. And a lot of people, and this is what pisses me off about what people say. They say, why aren't you as bigger or as big as you think you are? You have a great format. You're doing this. You're doing that. Why aren't you on Fox News? Why aren't you on this? Because I'm only one person. I'm not freaking Superman.
Right.
And and I say, would you like to help? Oh, I'm too busy, but you can figure it out. It's like, well, do you have any ideas? No, you can figure it out. It's like, thanks. You're basically shoving it down my throat by when I'm asking for help, but you're saying, I'll do figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I hate people like that.
That's true. I mean, there's a lot of people who I notice, like, who are not in our industry that has no idea, the complexities that come into, radio and stuff. Like, it's not just put it up on the, on the airwaves, just go out. Like, there's a whole system that you have to follow and stuff. And it's hard to break into. I've been trying to break into the Philadelphia market, but it's like the third largest market. So if you don't have experience, like a lot of experience behind you, then they don't look at you, so it's like after I did like the internship, like that's all. Like, I've met friends and everything through there, but that's where it stopped, Oh my goodness, I'm sorry about that. So the rain's getting tired. So it's very, very hard industry to break into. And I think that's why I always wanted to be an actress, so teaching was just secondary on my list, so I didn't really force it down my throat to go, accomplish it. But that would be a backup plan if I ever did it, because it was so much fun to be on the radio, to do it throughout college, and it was good because you started getting followers, and they all wondered where you went after you left. It was good, but it takes a lot of commitment, a lot of banging it down doors kind of deal to get your stuff out there. So I believe in you.
You mentioned it was raining. Yeah, how bad is it where you are?
Oh, well, it's pouring right now, but it was coming from south. I'm assuming it's coming from Florida. So right now it's pouring out. It's windy. They had that tropical thunderstorm. So it's been like more of it all day, because it's like the darkness of it's like it's easier when there's sun and you're not then you're bright. It's like, okay, this is good. But I was supposed to go to the beach today, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I said I would be the only one on the beach today. Hey, I would be crowds though, so it worked out. There'd be no crowds, but I would be rained on the whole time. So it works.
Sounds like we have the same forecast.
Oh yeah, so it's raining at yours place too, or?
Not heavy. It's just supposed to be just a little bit. It's damp out and it's drizzling. Tomorrow's supposed to be the worst. I don't know. I don't have the zip code for where you live, but not to sound like a stalker or anything. I use the Weather Channel app, so I basically have a whole book of zip codes. I have zip codes of Orange County and New Jersey, and if I'm curious, so it's like, if it's raining here and it's storming here, let's put this area code, 84792 whatever. Oh, it's sunny. I kind of wish I was over there right now.
Right.
But I don't know for Philadelphia. For New York, it's supposed to be heavy thunderstorms for us, but I don't know. It's if there's a time difference, or what time is it where you are?
I believe it's the same. It's 4:09.
Oh, 4:10. No, it's only a minute difference.
Yeah, it's like really, now turns 4:10. But yeah, so I feel like we're getting the thunderstorm, and then it's coming up to you. I think it's coming straight up the coast.
Because last night I was looking on the, I don't remember the app, but I can tell you after the name. And I was looking, there's a small system in Canada. Then there's a small storm system where you are. And then there's one coming up from Florida, so we're apparently got to get one of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like, you just knew today was going to rain, so you're like, okay, today, day in, day, and get stuff done on the computer. That was my day. And then tonight, shoot, hopefully indoors and not outdoors. Like, I was like, I'm hoping it's not this movie outdoors. I'm praying he's smart enough not to do that, but we'll see. Because tonight, the film I'm in right now, I'm a babysitter who gets abducted. And I find myself in a bathtub with my foot tied to the shower head. And I'm all bloody up and everything. And that scene we have accomplished. That took like all night. Now we're in it where I wake up and I get myself out. But now I'm trying to get me and the girl, the little child I'm babysitting out of this house before the guy killed them. So it should be quite interesting. I'm hoping we all shoot in the house this time and not have to do outdoors. But it's a very fun shoot. I would call it more like a Criminal Minds kind of feel. The film.
Yeah.
It's creepy. It's creepy. Like the ending is a humongous twist. Yeah. I wouldn't do any spoiler alerts.
That's why I stopped watching War and Order. Because it's like a pervert of the week.
It's true. And the craziest thing about Law and Order, though, is they do pick like real stories to put on there. So it's like that's messed up. Because because it's like, oh my gosh, it actually was real. Like they say it's not like actual facts, but it's like stories you hear in the news, and they'll create a film for it, like an episode. So that's insane. So yeah, it's just like, wow, there's people out there that are like that, and that's just like, oh, great. Gotta watch out for those ones. Of course, I'll probably attract them all. I could be lucky for that, but yeah. So.
It's funny, God, a lot of people say God takes the good ones and leaves us the fucked up ones.
I know, right? It's like, it's just messed up. But yeah, I don't see it getting any better anytime fast. So.
That's true. And now, before I get to the other subjects, I want to do I don't want to do a plug, but in the beginning of the video, when you watch it later, I'm going to have in memory of Robin Williams. But I think out of respect, we should tell funny stories. There to talk about them if you want.
Sure. Oh my goodness, I don't even know any funny stories. That's fine. I sympathize with Robin. For Robin Williams, I know depression. Because I went through it, still momentarily going through it. So I know what, I'm not going to say I know fully what he was going through, but I know the impact that depression can have on you. And I always describe it as depression is a silent killer, where it's like cancer you can't see. And it was tough because it's like when you actually heard he was going through depression, you wouldn't have noticed it because he was really good at hiding it. And that's what most Hollywood people that's what they they teach you growing up. If you want to be in Hollywood, you're gonna have a lot of paparazzi, you're gonna have a lot of everything. You gotta hide, what's actually going on. And it's tough, especially when you're in the starlight and you can't, express what you're actually feeling because then you don't want anybody else to know. And it's really tough. I give him kudos though on trying to get better before. I still don't understand why because he was just released from his, the rehab, and I don't understand why they didn't see any signs before they released him. There should have been signs that he was not safe to leave, and yet, I guess maybe he had to sign himself. He signed himself out. I'm assuming was the reasoning behind it, but it's just I still would have questioned why they released him. So, because if they didn't release him, he'd still be here right now, so it's just you're trying to figure out what happened. It's hard because it's you don't want to think too much into it because their families are now mourning right now. You don't want to because I know all of everything on Facebook about that, and people are well, why did he do it? And you're getting angry at him, but then they don't understand that depression's an illness. It's something that takes over your brain that you can't really think clearly with, So I feel bad because now the families, I remember reading that they said, please remember him for his films and what he did for people and not from how he ended it, So it's pretty sad, like, and especially when, acting sometimes can get the best of you. And it's something you have to learn because, with Heath Ledger, it's the same thing. These big icons are getting too into the film, Like, once you get too into your character, it controls you, it takes you over, And I'm not sure if Robin Williams felt that way or not, but I know that filming can get that way. Once you're totally connected to the character, you start thinking like them. So, yeah, I first, when my friend told me about it, I thought she was kidding, and I was like, that's a great joke, like, but, and then of course I had to call my mother, because, you always call your mother when things like this happen, so you like, when she says it is, then it is, Of course my mother says, of course, yes it is, it's all over the news. And of course I don't watch news, because news is always morbid, like, it's always like, there's always something negative on the news, there's never things that are positive. So I'm like, why would I watch the news to make myself become negative when I just want to become positive all the time? Like, I want to. So I never watch the news, so I always have to get my news from other people since I don't ever watch it. So even though I probably should.
No, it's true. I watched Fox News, and they're like, every freaking story is rapes and murders and muggings. It's like, what is this shit?
Yeah, and it's like, and you don't want to be like every day in that negativity. It's not healthy, and it just will overtake your brain. So it's like, you need to put on positive things. But then again, it's just hard, because then you're trying to stay positive, and there's a lot of things out there that are negative. So it's a battle. But yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'll miss watching Robin Williams, but it's gonna be hard because he did 4 films before he died. So we have 4 years of being reminded of his death because we'll see his films. So it's a little sad, because I thought his career was going well, but you never can tell ever, if somebody's doing well or not. It might look good on the outside, but looking in the inside, that's when it's hard. So.
All right. Well, moving on to a happier subject.
I know, right? Now we just pushed all the way down.
Well, I don't know how happier of a subject this would be, but do you believe in life after death?
I do. I am a Baptist, so yeah, I believe that if you are born again, that you go to heaven, and if you're not, you go to hell. I do believe in the two concepts, and I believe that, for me, that I will be going to heaven, and I mean, part of me is scared for like living forever. That somehow, I don't know why my brain thinks that's scary, but then I don't like dying forever either. So, it's like, I don't know which one I want, because it's like, they both seem far out there crazy, but yeah, but I do believe there's life after death, and that we finally will meet God who is our maker. I believe that, and that's a little bit nerve-wracking too. So.
Well, do you think there's, when they say life after death, do you think there's a next stage, or do you think this is it and game over? Do you think there is more to it? There's something beyond this life?
Yeah, like, I believe that we're, like, when you die, then you're put in, like, a limbo kind of feel. Like, we don't go see, like, we don't go to Judgment Day right away. So, yes, we'll go to heaven, but it's, like, a limbo portion of heaven. It's not fully heaven. And then when we have the Judgment Day, that's when this or that, And so, yeah, I do believe in that there's this part where you just are just there, like you're a spirit, but you're just there. So yeah, I do believe in that.
All right. Well, with everything going on in the Middle East, what's your opinion about it?
Well, viewing it from a biblical standpoint, I mean, I feel like in Revelations, it already told us what was going to happen, and now it's playing out and it's happening. Like, if you put the 2 verses, like, read Revelations and then watch what's happening in the news with, like, Israel and stuff, like, it was written years ago that this was going to happen. So it's a little freaky, because I was hoping that this would not happen while I was alive, kind of feel. Like, I was like, down the line, let this happen, But, like, once you see it happening, then I'm sure, the Antichrist is coming, and that will start the motion of, Judgment Day coming fast, So it's like, yeah, I can read Revelations and see, exactly where it's put. So yeah, I believe that it's messed up. I mean, I'm not happy with the women and children who are getting buried alive, over there. That's not right at all. It's the worst killing you could possibly do is to be suffocated. I couldn't even imagine being buried alive. I mean, that's my only fear. If I needed to die, I had to be fast and, just shoot me, drown me, I don't know, something fast. But buried alive, that freaks me out. I'm like, I can't sit here and, watch myself die, And then, because it takes, maybe 2 hours tops, I think. They were saying, I don't know, I watch Criminal Minds a lot, and they always are describing that. I think it was 2 hours and then you die, so it's 2 hours of actually suffocating. This is awful. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. So I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't kill anybody, so that's why I don't go into the army. It would not work out for me. I would probably have them shoot me before I shoot them. But it's just really messed up and it hurts. It's I don't even know these people, but that's just really upsetting. And again, of course, it's on the news, so I don't really want to watch that. But yeah.
All right. Well, how do you feel about gun control?
Oh my goodness, a lot of things about gun control. I mean, I understand, hunters need them and all that, but if there were, what we need is a bigger wall against it, because a lot of these kids are getting guns from their parents, room or whatever, and going to school and shooting up everybody. It's they have to have some sort of locking mechanism where, I don't know, there's a central area where you lock your gun and you can go and rent it out for the day or whatever, or something that has a control with who's taking these guns at what time. I mean, again, they're gonna, a lot of people who have guns are gonna be like, oh well, it's my right to have a gun. I want to have some protection. So you can see both sides of the story, but it's yeah, but for some reason you're not keeping it safe away from your children who are taking them and shooting people. So it's and it's hard because I don't blame the child for doing that. I blame the parent for having a gun in the house. Because the child, I'm not sure, he's thinking with his emotions and not with his head, and he's not knowing what he's doing until afterwards. But the parent should automatically know this gun could be dangerous. I should, lock it up or not even tell their kids that it's in the house. Because if the kids don't know it's in the house, they're not going to go looking for it. So there has to be more laws against owning a gun, and who actually gets a gun, and how do a lot of these criminals automatically have guns. I know there's always the black market or whatever, so you can get them from there. But it's somehow there has to be a way of controlling that. So.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I support the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and I do support the right to kill in self-defense, only in self-defense. And I also tell people that if they're mentally challenged, if they're, retarded, if they have severe problems or depression or whatever the excuse may be, these people should be on a list of having that right taken away, because you have the bullshit saying, oh well, I'm a reinformed convict. I was in prison and I'm reinformed and I'm now a good person. And nope, doesn't matter. You took a life, you're mentally unfit, you're banned from having the rights to have the guns. Period. Yeah, you want a knife? Here's a knife. What you gotta do is that. But actually, then again, there's a lot of things you can do with a knife. But there should be more stricter rules about it. If you're fucked up, you're on this side. If you're normal and you just want to protect your family, you're on this side. You have a dividing point. You can't just have it, see what happens attitude, and that's why all the shit happens.
Sometimes I feel like they would have psychiatric tests for people who want to have guns, and the doctors would tell them, they're okay to have a gun, he's not okay to have a gun. You know, like, it has to be like documented, like doctors telling us he's okay to have a gun, you know. But these, you know, written things get certified or whatever, they're not. They're too loosely made, you know, and easily can be tweaked and whatever, you know. So it's like it has to be somebody saying, okay, he's mentally okay to have one, you know. And I don't think they ever have those kind of tests, like psychiatrical ones, saying that he's okay to have one, you know, she's okay to have one. For me, I don't even remotely care to even hold a gun. I mean, there's no point in me having one, you know. Not that I haven't shot one. I have shot a gun before, but it was a class for theater where they teach you like unarmed fighting, which basically shows you the proper way of holding a gun. You're going to shoot blank bullets, but so you look realistic in a film. So yes, I have shot guns, but you know, it's not the point of I'm going to go and take one out today and say I'm going to keep a gun around, you know. I mean, because people are too trigger happy. I really feel like they're too trigger happy. Like, you know, they're like the one little thing that sparks them, they have to shoot. You know, it's like seriously, like that point right there, which you should have just been chilling. You know, but yeah, it's crazy.
Well, wrapping up, do you have many funny stories you like to share?
Funny stories. Oh my goodness, I was like trying to think. I mean, I'm very comedic in nature. That becomes naturally, so it doesn't really. It's not like I was meant to be funny. It just happens. I'm just really comedic, I guess you could say. I'm trying to think of anything. I mean, I say stupid things a lot. It just comes naturally. And I can't really think of anything right now off the top of my head. I know I've jumped out of a moving car before. That was accidental. I forgot, and it was it was back in college, and I was with my boyfriend, and I had to go to a theater show, and I go into my friend's car, and of course I forget a couple of items in my boyfriend's car who was behind me, and my friend told me, well, why don't you jump out and go get it? Well, that's all I heard. I didn't hear him say when I could stop at the red light. I just heard him say, jump out and go get it. So, needless to say, he's driving down the road, and I jumped out to go get my stuff. And, of course, you know, my boyfriend behind me, like, stops his car fast, and, you know, and everybody's freaking out in the car, because they're like, oh my gosh, she just jumped out of this car, you know? I was like, oh, you meant you wanted me to do that at the red light. Oh, now you tell me, you know? Like, I didn't hear red light at all. I just heard jump out of the car. So, yeah, that's like a blonde thing. This is just what happens to me. You know, I have things periodically where people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just did that. You know, those are my moments.
Well, I do have, it's not really my story, but it's more my dad's story. When he used to carpool, when he worked in the city, you know, squeegee guys used to come over, and his friend used to pull out his revolver and tap on the window. It's like, oh, okay, you gotta know not to go near that car.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Well, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Well, I guess I could just say thanks for listening and supporting me, and I can't wait to have more films come up.